little record button went a little bit fast. It was faster than I expected. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Did everybody have a wonderful time with your families? Did you have fun with the children? Hey, having fun with Christmas and the children. I hope you all did. Hope you had a wonderful family time. I didn't. That's okay. You don't feel anything for me. I'm fine. I have no hairspray in my hair today, so not sure how it's gonna last, but yeah. It's like I've got to get it colored again too. So this is as natural as it's gonna get. No hairspray at all in my hair. Zero. We'll see how flat it is by the end. I'm going to have a show in 2026 for all those that want to, talk about beauty and things like that. So I will be taking some, just products that I like, and as cruelty-free as possible. And we're just going to talk about the products, because there are certain products that I really do like, and I've tried just about everything, because my girlfriends and I in high school, we had lots of fun playing with makeup and playing with beauty products and essential oils and things like that. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that stuff. So welcome. Today is December 27th. Yes, it's the 27th today, and it's Saturday. So welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. A Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We've got a few things that we're going to talk about that are right out there. I don't know how anybody else is feeling, but there has been a huge, I always say this, but that's because I'm a conduit. There's been a huge energy shift timeline, so I'm really happy about that. Really happy about the timeline shift. I've got ringing ears, and there's energies that are like coming through the veil in and out, and I've told them that they can, some of the newer beings that I'm going to be with, they called them the new timeline beings. So they're going to be the new interdimensional beings that I'm going to be working with in this new timeline. So I'm very excited. We did do an energy, we did do a universal shift. Is that correct, Spirit? Can you just allow me to have any more information? I'm just grounding. So if y'all want to ground, there's going to be a lot of energy come through today in my channeling. So if you just want to open up your divine sacred heart, your pillar of light, there's a lot more energy flowing through me right now. So that means you're going to get a lot more God codes. So when we do live events, it's important that we practice what I teach, so that when you do come and see a live event, you're going to be prepared for the energy. So this is why, and of course you should be doing it every day anyways, because it's preparing you for first contact, because I am that bridge for first contact. Because I am Celeste, you got a lot of star codes, and so we want to make sure that you're going to be enjoying the experience, right? So, when you're seeing light ships in the sky, that is a multidimensional vibrational experience. You're seeing the light ships carry codes, light ships carry memory. So when I always see my light ships in the sky, I like to work with my light ships. I like to ask them questions, and then they send me codes through the light ships. They send me little sonar codes. And when the light ship spins, because I used to look at them with binoculars, and they had different colors that would spin, and they would, like little dots and things like that. That's how they would connect with me. And they would just download things into my, into my eye, and they would just download into my brain. That's how they did it with me. So just open up your pillar of light, right? Your pillar of light that runs along your spine, and we're going to ground into Gaia, because as you go higher, you need to ground deeper and ground more. So today I'm going to be channeling different energy. You can already tell my mouth is already starting to whack up. I'm going through a download right now. I'm going through an upgrade. My ears are ringing, so my galactic audio, clairaudience, because mostly as I channel, I'm clairsentience, claircognizant. I'm all the clairs. I have all the clairs, but I really a lot of my channeling is hearing. It's audible because of the so many beings that I deal with, and of course it's all telepathy. But I did ask some of the interdimensional beings to join me in the room. So if you do see shadows and things like that around me, so I've asked them to come forward. I'm getting used to working with them as well. And they are beings that can shapeshift. They're beings that can come in and out of form. So they know that. I know that. I can feel them already. So ground. So right. So when there's a lot more energy coming through me as the conduit, as the channel, you're going to feel that energy as well. So that's what we want to talk about this year: passionate, soulful alignment. So that means you're going to be manifesting from your sacred trinity for that sacred triad, and that sacred triad is always what's included in your blueprint. That's why you're here. That's what God designs. That's all of the stuff that God designs with you within the most magnificent aspects of all that is your DNA, of all the realms you've been in, of all the planets you've been on, all the forms you've taken, all your skills and your gifts and your talents. And God is even going to give you enhanced skills and talents, because now we're in a new phase where humanity has never been before. And so they've been celebrating me over the last couple of days, because I've actually come through the things that I've been doing, calling judgment and piercing my light into the various aspects of corruption that I have pulled out and been responsible for, along with a few of the very aligned readers that I always post on my channel. They're the ones that are providing nonstop, devoted healing and devoted reading of the information from the spirit realm. And so I do post the aligned readers, those that are always tapped in and they are devoted to their path with God. And they are pivotal in also getting information out to the various stories of unresolved crimes, of corruption and secret society, crimes and abuse. They have been pivotal in helping me share my story since that my YouTube channel has been shut down for 8 years. And so I'm 24/7 working on behalf of human rights and on behalf of the voices that have been taken, because there's been many people that are sacrificed daily. There are many people that are sacrificed weekly and yearly. And when they get to the other side, the ancestors and the spirit realms have discussions with the higher spiritual realms and the angels and God, source creator. And it's become highly imbalanced. It's become highly unethical and unfair about all of the destinies that are being taken and changed and altered because of misguided, incorrect, wrong information that these secret societies are moving forward with, thinking that they have power to take other people's lives for their self-gain and their self-glory. And their glorification of who and what and why they think they are. The corrupted Illuminati that have been through time, corruption of themselves, because they've been misusing energy, they've been abusing energy, they've been abusing information. And the Illuminati have done so for quite, many, many thousands of years. I'm a part of the original blue bloods that were entered on the planet here. That's part of my lineage, was the royal blue bloods. And then after time, it became distorted just because of power over others and domination. And they found it very easy to manipulate humans because humans were not advanced consciously. So in that, they were easy to give their power away. And so these celestial beings in the beginning of time did choose to take advantage of humanity, to use them as slaves. And it's gotten underground because there are laws, but even now that we're more moving into, a more consciously awake experience, even the laws and the systems and even the medical systems, every system that we have is corrupt, simply because a lot of these Masons have gotten their way into everyday communities and everyday houses. The secret societies aren't really secret anymore because it's just about everybody and their dog belongs to them. And they're just ways for, to have a side hustle is crime. A side hustle is the criminology of humans giving their power away to certain church and state dogmatic structures, doctrines, thinking that they know spiritual understanding and spiritual knowledge, and they don't. There's a lot of misunderstanding. So my role to come forward on behalf of humanity, and why I've gone through so many initiations, right, my higher self, initiating me through the sacred geometry of all that is the Metatronic light, so that as much of my DNA can be activated as possible, so I can be of assistance to humanity in the highest benevolent way. And in so, I get to play a part of bringing different worlds and different energies of co-creational dimension together, which is what the bridge is all about, the rainbow bridge. It's bringing aspects of various dimensions and various even interdimensionality together in a cohesion, so that we're understanding how we operate, what we exist within, and what exists within us in a crystalline experience. Now, why this is so important, so I'm just channeling, and there's different information there. So as I'm channeling, just keep taking deep, full body breaths, and just open up your pillar of light so that we can accept the Christ consciousness in, and we can accept our codes and our light. We are in brand new energy right now. There has been a timeline shift. I can absolutely feel it. Everything feels I'm kind of up here in my up here in my higher chakras, and I do have to focus on grounding. My ears are ringing like crazy. My dreams are much more profound. So I've had profound dreams, and those that are going to be helping me in this new dimension. I will be. My intention is to be out within the collective as much as possible, so that I can bring healings and teachings and wisdoms to those that so desire, to have private sessions, like Cryon does, Lee Carroll, just doing live events, and bringing it to the greater public, especially in schools, in all of our social systems. I plan to make my presence known and my energy known. And of course, all the beings that I come with. I come with the angels, I come with the celestials, I come with the fairies, the gnomes. I have a lot of Gaia energy. So I'll be activating as many people as I can. That's what Source wants for me. And all of those experiences will include sacred light language and sound healing, because it is one of my original gifts from the Pleiades and Arcturus, as well as Syrian for the cetaceans. I have a lot of cetacean sound experience and knowledge. I've had many, many timelines in Sirius as cetaceans and amphibious beings. Many of us were mermaids. We've had lots of timelines being mermaids and things like this. And these things are very real in Sirius and many of the interdimensional experiences. We experience all of these mythological creatures. They're all just aspects of us, just playing out different experiences. And why we can let go of discrimination on this planet and allow ourselves to soak into something more grand than we thought we were. So that's why I wanted to take this opportunity for this show, being the 27th of December, Saturday, and we wanted to just give you a few more days, because I know a lot of you do that have been my clients. Usually around this time of year, we get ourselves ready for, just creating fun little outlines on the passions, because that's what we've talked about in all of my teachings, is the 3 E's. And I've been a proponent of the type of healing that I do is the expression healing, because expression is so important to all of the historical suppressions, regressions, projections of no voice and giving your power away and not having that physical expression available. But the physical expression is going to become multidimensional expressions, which is what we want. Sound healing, tonal healing, your understanding about being your channeler, how you receive information, how you give information, it's all multidimensional. We are receptors and senders of multidimensional information and multidimensional codes. The codes that I just give off, Spirit's told me countless times, and I've had countless proof of this. People just standing next to me get affected. People that are just passing by, I affect their fields. I activate their fields with Christ consciousness. I activate their fields with celestial energy. And I do affect people just by walking by them. And so this is something that's always been a part of my energy, and why people get triggered so much around me. Those that are not willing to see their higher truths, people that are not willing to see, as I said, me being a conduit of the Source Creator, me being a conduit and an empath, and all of the great things that I am, and all of the clairs that I do have, I'm being activated right now. So I'm just trying to work my way through this energy, because there's lots coming through me. This is all new for me, so I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. So I'm showing you, this is what a download from the heavens. This is a downloaded heaven code. This is heavenly codes. These are all brand new words. We've never said these things before. This is why when you come to this channel, we're offering you new words, new aptitude and capacity, so that you can learn and grow in your consciousness. These are what they're showing me is vibrational tones, codes of the heavens. These are heavenly codes, heavenly tones that I'm going to be offering. Even in my voice right now, there are informational codes that is Christ consciousness, that is godly, Source Creator God, that is in my voice. And if you could see it if there was such a tool to show multidimensional codes, as I speak, and every sound that I make is godly codes. So the God is speaking through me. And because I've gone through an upgrade, because I've gone through a new sheath of interdimensional layering. So that means there's been destinies released and beliefs that are released, perspectives that are released. God has been working very greatly on my multidimensionality and to express such, to be such. And the more passion, the more allowance and the more surrendering I am to myself, the greater codes of God that I release, which means that there's going to be more activations and more energy given off purely. I offer more pure God codes for those that stand around me, and like everything in my body right now is vibrating. It's just vibrating. Like my skin is vibrating, my cells are vibrating, everything is vibrating right now. And my ears are ringing. And so there's a lot more God, there's a lot more Christ conscious. This is what we call crystalline, and this is the crystalline energy. This is spirit quickening. So spirit is quickening through my essence right now. And there's a great number of codes, energy, distinction. God is saying distinction. There's more God energy, source energy as living through me. So source is actually, if you can see, this is my body. Source is actually breathing through me. So if you can imagine, breath is source breathing through me. This is why there's more source living in me. So it's quite amazing. So I'm feeling quite amazing. Thank you, Holy Source. And the more source energy I hold, the more repair it does to my body, the more youthfulness it brings to my body, and the more commandmentship we have over our body and the healing, because there's so much more source that I'm calling into myself. So I'm becoming more godliness in every moment that I ascend. So I'm showing you the ascension process in physical form, not going up in my Merkaba like Elijah did, and not going up on the third day like Jesus did. That was unseen. There are both experiences of ascension. My ascension will be in the physical form, showing each and every one of you what ascension looks like in the physical form, what the various cycles of ascension we talk about all the time. This is what my class does. I teach you how to ascend. I teach you how from going from a lower vibrational 3D human to an ultra human. In every cycle of now, you're here to create that 51% of integration of all of these psyche aspects, the psyche experiences that are in your field, that are in your multidimensionality, and you integrate it into your oneness, which is your becoming godliness, because you are in the image of God, right? And as you do, you activate the codons within your DNA, and then you rise up the Jacob's ladder, if you will. And as remember we said, the Jacob's ladder is never really straight up. It's always back and forth, right? The Jacob's ladder is always back and forth, because these are the psyche experiences you have to heal. But this psyche experience, like this one, might be, you allowed somebody to take advantage of you, even though we say it with a grain of salt, because obviously, if you're 2 years old and you were sexually assaulted, you didn't have a lot to do it. But in the higher realms, you had that contract to be that personal victim of somebody, so that you can live out your power to come here and to reclaim that for yourself and show others, as I did. I knew, however unfair it was, I knew that I did have the strength to come forward and remember who I was as godliness, and then come forward and activate what I needed to, so I could show the collective how to. And you have teams and you have guides and you have all other aspects of you that are helping remind you, by activating you, by reminding you, by bringing you dreams, by bringing synchronicities, cues, coincidences, all these things that you think are, kind of out there, not really meaning too much to you in your path, but it absolutely is. It's everything. These are the, I call them touch points of the sacred geometry. They're all touch points, right? If you can see, they're little touch points of the sacred geometry that remind you that you are the dodecahedron. And when can you wake up, right? Like, when are you going to wake up and really start behaving as the God part of you? So I teach you how to be that ultra human. And through that, through the teaching of being ultra human, everything within your fields, like right now, is being activated. We want to go back to God. God wants me to channel God, more God energy. But as I'm channeling God energy, I want you to envision that this is what as a conduit, this is what I am. This is what I feel. I have the God coming down. And when I say pillar of light, these are all the energy sent from the heavens, and they're the energy sent from Gaia. So the higher you go, you do have to ground. And if you're feeling really dizzy, if you're feeling really anxious, if you're feeling like you're going through the day really, really fast because you are sensitive to energy, you have to work with your fields very distinctively. So please book a session with me. You do have to make sure you're grounding. If you're feeling chaotic, if you're feeling like your day is going really fast, if you're feeling like people are moving really fast and people are irritating you and you're being anxious, this is your fields turning on. You're very sensitive to energy and you're starting to oscillate faster, which means you have to start caring for your field and grounding your energy. When you ground your energy, then you can start manifesting with it. And that's what we're going to show you today. Now, as your energy starts speeding up, that means that everything you think, everything you say, everything you act upon, thought, word, and deed, you're going to start manifesting. We have to be very clear about energy that we're putting out is going to be manifesting something that is higher form, higher ultra human form, because we want to start manifesting from a mindful state. We want to start manifesting from the heart space of, the mindful state, that mind of heart, mind heart of God, which is the higher self, in our heart space. We should be living from this space right here, the divine sacred heart, which is a diamond shape. This is the divine sacred heart. I'm the only one that teaches it. And that divine sacred heart is your divine relationship. What is relationship again? What is alignment? It is relationship and connection. So are you building a relationship with what you want to manifest? So we want to, mark this down. For those of you that like to write, those of you that like to journal, so that you can come back to the video and go through it again bit by bit and really take up the pieces of the sandwich, right? So everything that I give you as a download is a bite of that sandwich, and then go back and start reflecting on the bites of sandwich. Start reflecting and pulling apart the sandwich. Okay, I've got the bread there, I've got the lettuce there, and then reflect upon it. What does that mean for me? And then throughout the week, you're doing the work. You're waiting for the synchronicities, you're waiting for the cues. How does spirit speak to you? How do you send information out? That's manifesting. You're manifesting yourself as an ultra human, which means you need to care for yourself as an ultra human. So let's say that as an intention right now. Everybody, because we're doing a little bit our videos a little bit differently. Thank you everybody for joining us in this new Earth Star co-creation. We are co-creating our new systems. We're co-creating new systems for humanity. Because we are changing into ultra humans, we need to create new systems that are going to be for new ultra humans, which means that they're going to be everything we're going to know about consciousness and who we are, what we exist within, what's really going on within us. Systems that will assist us with higher inventiveness, the innovativeness we're going to need from technologies that can assist us in healing and coming together as a unified collective to really understanding who we are as energy beings and electromagnetic beings that are truly connected with our planet. And all of our innovativeness and our technology will help us do that. It will help us understand how various aspects of those within the collective learn, how we integrate information, how we absorb information, and how we send information. In traditional 3D, it's been known that, well, if you're a human, this is how we all learn. We all learn, History 101. We all learn Philosophy 101, Psychology 101. All of this, we're not doing that anymore. That's pushed aside. Right now, we're going to focus on every single aspect of humanity has different ways of learning. They have different information in their fields. They have different ways which they send information. It can be very choppy and chaotic, or it can be very smooth. Because you see their fields look very different. This is very chaotic energy. You can see all the lightning streaks. This is where these streaks get in here, where entities and demons and darker energies can slide in between and get into the chakra systems and start affecting the chakra systems and start actually rooting in the chakra systems, which means they feed off of the chakra's light. They feed off the chakra's light. If there is wounding, this is why when you have the fields of energy that you have to take care of them. Right? So take care of the fields of energy. And that's just doing your practices every morning. So this is why doing my work really helps. If you're not doing the work at all, you're going to have choppy fields. You're going to have fields where if there is negative energies or entities around you, they can tunnel in. There's this fellow that I know, he has entity attachments because he had early on wounding, sexual wounding within his family, and it was never resolved. And so he still has that sexual entity, and it's affected his life. His life has gone downhill because he has not healed that sexual wounding in that entity. And that entity is basically eating him from the inside out. And it puts him in very precarious position because that sexual entity wants him to continually to behave in sexual ways. That is sexual depravity, because that sexual entity is showing it. The entities do their job. The entities show the person where their demon is, where that energy is that needs to be healed. But if the person is not paying attention, the person is disconnected, the person is not having a relationship with their body, the person is not having a relationship with energy, the person is not having a relationship with higher vibrational wisdoms of light, then there's that disconnect. That person is not coming into contact with its higher self and saying, well, this entity is showing me something. There are woundings that I have in my sacral and my root. There's woundings that I have in my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, familial experience. How do I need to heal this? And this is what multidimensional vibrational healers do. We help you see, we help you feel what's going on, because the body will show you before anything comes to your mind, because your mind is not connecting that you're multidimensional. So your body keeps showing you what's going on by the various things that you're feeling, your chakras, your sexual energy, how you're behaving sexually. Is it more of a responsible way where you have open communication? Are you hiding? Are you being in the closet? All of these things can help you face and put it on the table and work through your Jacob's ladder. Do that back and forth, do the weaving, and do it from a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, financial point of view, taking it away right out of church and state. So from here on out, for New Earth Systems, for all of those that like to desire, know you're going to be calling me for sessions. Spirit has already shown my calendar for 2026. So if you truly want to be a part of New Earth Star, if you want to be a part of eternal life, please book an appointment right away. 2026 is going to book up fast for me as far as who I'm going to see, where I'm going to be, for helping you align with vocational alignment sessions, with lectures, and with stage events and global events like that. So if you'd like to have me speak in front of a group, please just book a session with me for collaboration, and I can set up a pro forma of just costs and things like that, because you'll need to have the hotel costs and travel costs included in that. And so we'll work out a price that's good for everyone, which I always will. And then I'm going to have an event calendar for 2026. And it's going to include obviously better illustrations. It's going to include some beautiful things that I have ideas about. And I'm going to be putting all of the beautiful God downloads into a beautiful team that will support me and assist me in moving about the planet and really taking advantage of all my gifts and skills and talents so that I can activate the various aspects of land. I can assist in activating as many humans as possible in their soul's blueprint and their soul's code with God. And of course, there's Celeste, multidimensional. Their celestials are coming through. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Ashtar. The very many systems of light. I'm so grateful, systems of light. And I'm nothing without all of you to come through and assist me and allow me to feel your energies and allow me to speak the codes of your lineages and your ancestors. And so they're showing me something very beautiful that I've never seen before. So one of the beautiful groups that I connect with and I channel for is the insectoids. And the insectoids are far represented. How is that word? Represented? Yeah, represented. They are underrepresented, whatever that word is. You know what I mean. And because there's very few people that channel the insectoids, obviously, and there's very few people that understand the insectoids. There's very few experiences out there, liturgies. So some of the liturgies that I express through sound and tones is a lot of Arcturian and insectoids that deal and work with the Arcturians. Insectoids are very analytical. They love analysis. They love research. They are very connected with substantiation of change, what goes on in the activation of energy, of sound and light, as a human progresses through evolution, how it progresses in its state of body, thorax, if it's an insectoid. So they're showing me the very aspects of the insects, adapting to various information on the environment and the land, adaptations of topography, adaptations of weather and environment. They're very analytical beings and species. And they love to see how light and sound affects the being in the body and what that being in that body needs. And Celeste has brought forward many experiences in her time with insectoids and her very many experiences with insectoids. And this is why she is a great channeler of information and energy of God's source, because she is very attuned to the fragmented experience of you don't have a word for it. We're just going to call it quark, as a quark of spatial energy. There's no word for what I'm seeing. It's just a package of light, and this quark of light, and you go into it, you access this quark of light, and there's God information. It's like the Akash. It's not really the Akash. It's just what a quark of information looks like. And we're introducing you to these quantum experiences of how your life is now set up in your new reality, because your new reality is all energy. You're in a new bedding of New Earth Star, which means it's much more pristine. There's not a lot of historical information because we're wanting to bring forward new Earth Star information, new Earth Star energies. And from here on out, from here, we're looking forward to healing what has been, but we're not going to bring what has been with us. We're not going to bring the old traumas as far as the stories, and we're not going to anchor trauma stories into the grids. We're going to heal, and we're going to anchor healing energies into the grids. We're going to anchor into what's coming for us in healing and productivity of efficiency, in our newness of being ultra human, how we can manifest beautiful healing temples of sound and light and philosophies, and looking at humanity from a dodecahedron perspective, not just that this is who I am in the psychological perspective of who I am right now, because we're always a dodecahedron expanding within the dodecahedron. We're never just one aspect. We're integrating one tiny molecule of aspect, that quark of information, if you will, but it's adding to the all that is. So it's never really only one aspect. It's all that is, harmonizing into more of all that is. That is the I am becoming more aware of the I am presence. Let's go back to that quirk of information in the insectoids. Now that quirk of information and the insectoids have a very specific and very honored talent, and that is very refined, enhanced abilities to read energy. And this is one gift that Joanna has and Celeste has had for her entire life. She's very aware when she sits in nature, the vibrations of nature, the sounds of nature, the offering of nature, and what that nature provides her in feeling comfortable with who she is as a multi-vibrational being. So she's very comfortable being in nature. It makes her feel very at ease. It makes her feel like she's home. And this is where all that she is as a species of source creator can feel amplified and healed and restored. And this is where we're asking most of you, and we've told many of you for many, many years, but it's going to be even more so in the coming years, that most of your healing will take place in nature. And we'd like you to get your children as used to being in nature and often as being in nature as much as possible, because their systems and their light systems and how they're going to be healed and how they're going to be reset to a more grounded experience of who they are, what they exist within, and what's going on within them. We want them to be very substantiated in this. Who are you? Well, you are an ultra human. You're born this way, and your gifts and skills are going to come to light. Just play. Therefore, thus then, how may we go about in the education system of who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us, so that we're looking at the education system from a species point of view? Because each and every one of you have different aspects and the different dialects of DNA, obviously, right? Your experience of learning who you are from somebody that's Irish and somebody that is born in, Spain. You're still human. You're still, walking around as a humanoid, hominid, but within each of you, you come with, in this night now, your light and the energy and God will be activating various parts of you. Perhaps this person that's born knows already the very established, the very basics of school. You might have the very basics of school, which learns ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and very basic energies of how to walk as a humanoid, as a hominid, and the languages and the signs and the symbols we use with our hands and how to communicate in these ways. But it's going to be offered to the species very differently. We're going to be offering all that is nature right away. We're going to be offering all that is, we don't want to take on the histories of our land anymore, so that children are anchoring in horrible stories. We're going to offer them in the positive aspects of the histories. We're going to bring back the elders' stories of different Aboriginals and nations and all of those things that make us who we are now. So start the history of now. How was politicals viewing right now? We're going to take the best of politics right now. We're going to make it a party of one. And that's what it really should be. It should be the human party of one. And the human party of one works together through each person has their own gifts and skills and talents that they come to the table with. And they're not going to be arguing back and forth, but they're going to be an advocate for their special, unique gifts and skills and talents so that they can bring the whole party of one up. And this was what everybody within the party of one can be looking forward to, is that you're going to be amplified much more primarily within who you are as a soul with source creator. And you're going to bring those gifts and skills and you're going to put them forward as to be the advocate of nature, to be the advocate of children, to be the advocate of voice, to be the advocate of learning, to be the advocate of everything on the planet that needs an advocate for. Because again, there's so much imbalance. An advocate for better monies and sharing with the collective. There's going to be so much that each and every one of you will be an advocate and an ambassador of. New policing and investigative systems. There's so much for us to tap into, so much for us to expand, and each and every one of you are going to be needed for your specific passionate gift of what you're manifesting within yourself as source, what you're allowing within yourself as source. You might have very good analytical gifts or investigative gifts, and you might be very intuitive in your investigative skills if you're in policing or investigations. But you might start an entire branch of learning through investigative inquiry. And that is going to be a beautiful place to start. And I can come and help you design a program that is higher aligned for the ultra human. How is it aligned for us to be celestial and alien? How is it for us to have the insectoid energy available to us? How do we start reading these energies that are very acute and very fine-tuned and very refined? And we're honoring all of these systems within us. And why are we saying that this is so? Because again, each and every one of you might be born as children with different DNA already being activated within you, with already God giving you a beautiful design blueprint that is magnificent in and of itself, and it's meant to tap into and be the puzzle piece in the collective that is needed for if there's an asking, there is an answering. And God has that within each and every one of you. And in this, there's no need for competition, there's no need for taking, there's no need for distorting, there's no need for destiny swap, there's no need for any of it, because that's never how it was. They were misguided spiritual informations. It wasn't even spiritual. It was just a distorted, warped experience of dark occult and the abuse of the dark occult, the abuse of energy, the abuse of, spiritual dictations, and hiding behind church and state. And those things are going to be changing, and there's going to be new laws that will be made so that we can honor ourselves in learning and progressing in certain ways and beginning new foundations, so that we are all held within the sacred Trinity. We are all held within the images of the Mother and the Father and the many heavens. And our primary language of learning is the systems of light, is our wisdom, our light wisdom's intelligences. Our light wisdom's intelligences will be the new foundation of education. And this will be, who are we? What do we exist in? What's going on within us? And it's all based on light. It's all who we are as a universal being of light. That is the ultra-human. We are ultra-humans, which means that we have species, we have dialect, we have DNA from many different interdimensions, with many different planets, with many different activations of the species within us. We need to bring this forward into the diversity of one and harmonize it as one, therefore becoming the whole dodecahedron. We're not suppressed or repressed in any way. Therefore, that's then our healing, our psychology, our philosophy is going to expand and grow, because everything is consciousness based. As you learn to accept and ground and honor 3 E's, 3 A's, and you bring it all together, you are a harmonized being of aspect. There's not anything you're holding back and saying, no, that's not me. No, that's not me. You're not refusing anything that's you. You're actually going to be this ultra aspect of harmonized spinning light, and you're going to be the all that you are. And you're going to allow everything that you are to be the passion. We want you to be passionate humans again. And to be passionate humans means you can read information, you can feel information, you can sense information, you can discern information, you can see information. Everything within you is going to be upgraded. It's enhanced as we're speaking. Many of you can wake up the next day and feel completely different than you did the day before. These might be one of two things. A, your gifts are changing and upgrading. B, there's toxins and releases that have been done through your teams and through your healings and through your intentional release of density. Through your intentional was what we practice in our daily work, daily pathwork. So book a session with me. If you don't know what ascension pathwork is, get in touch with me and I can help you along the way. Every day, book time for you and spirit at the beginning of the day for your daily ascension pathwork. You will be intentional on looking at your beliefs and your perspectives, which is everything to do, if we go back to the beginning, which is everything to do with philosophies and psychologies, because you're going to be working on it every day. So therefore, that's then the collective philosophies and psychologies are going to be changing. We cannot keep talking philosophy and psychology in the way that we did in 3D. Every human is already working on it. Therefore, that's then these aspects of education are going to change. We need to upgrade all of this within the light wisdom's intelligences. These are intelligences now. They're not just aspects of different rooms we're going to go in, but they are actual aspects of the dodecahedron. It's an intelligence. And it's through light that we learn. It's through light that we remember who we are. It's through light that we are malleable. We are very bendy with light. We're not going to cut it off and say no, because when you do say no and when you do repress and when you do resist, that's when you break. That's the psychotic break. So again, healing and allowing yourself to become ultra-human is just that energy of allowance to allow the light to keep molding you and to keep honoring you and to keep churning you and to keep making this new becoming. And that's what light does. It's constantly changing you. It's constantly alchemizing you into your godliness. And your godliness is your everyday taking your commandmentship, say, no, I'm going to reclaim who I am. I'm going to reclaim those soul fragments. I'm going to reclaim the beauty of that story. And this is why sometimes it does take the long game. Affirm to yourself every day, the short game is never going to be your highest intelligence ever. It's going to be a lesson, yes, but you're never going to learn all that you are. You're never going to be a master in the short game. You just won't. You can have a 1 or 2 off experience of the short game because you're going to learn very valuable karmic lessons, as opposed to those that cheat, steal, and do destiny swapping, and all the people that do dark occult. They want the fast ride. They want to be seen as really great, but without doing the work. So they use magic and they manipulate, and they're very good at it. They use the histories of humanity being manipulated, and they know how to manipulate people. And they do very dark things with that, and they pay people, and this is what's called the shadow government and all that are being charged. All of this will be seen. That is the underbelly of humanity, where we have to see, well, why did we choose to do it to begin with? Because our beliefs were very low. Our perspectives are really low about ourselves. But we can go in every day and start reclaiming who we are as passionate beings that actually are ultra human. Our abilities for our bodies to be upgraded and start to feel and sense and know and radiate and emanate a higher vibration. Because when you emanate a higher vibration, what does that mean? What is your reality again? Does everybody remember what your dimension? What is a dimension? Information and vibration. Therefore, thus then, every day that you're doing and harmonizing these higher vibrational intellects, these higher vibrational light wisdoms and intelligences, you're vibrating a higher vibrational experience, which means you're going to be having it returned back to you. Because you're in a new dimension now. You've just shifted, which is what I've done. I've shifted into a whole new dimension, and they're telling me that it is a different universe. So there's threads, and it's a very slick process that Source does this. You can go to sleep 1 minute and wake up in a different universe. And that's just the sheath or slip sliding. It's like these sheaths of energy. They are threads. They're threads of reality, and they just slip slide like this. And you can be here 1 minute, and then the next day you're going to wake up and you're going to be here. It's a very minor vibrational adjustment, but it's profound. Because when your body has done that healing, and when your body has been prepared, as I teach you how to prepare yourself, thought, word, and deed, inside and out. I teach you as this multi-dimensional being, you can absolutely wake up the next day and you can feel, holy crap, I've really changed. Like, I'm transforming here, and this is awesome. This is the process of transformation. This is the process of illumination. This is the process of self-actualization, because you're self-actualizing yourself back into the destiny that you and Spirit wrote. It's your destiny only. No two people have the same destiny, because no two blueprints are the same. It can't be. These people have different timelines, different akash, different lineage, different experiences, different timelines they've been in. This might have 300 timelines. This might have 980. So there's no way that this person can carry this destiny. They just couldn't. They cannot carry the light. Their capacity and aptitude to understand light is just not there. That person that tried to do a destiny swap with me would not be able to discuss what I'm discussing now. They can't close their eyes and see all of the downloads God's giving them. They can't. They don't have the capacity. They're not cleared. They're not clean. They're not expanded. They're not tapped in with God. They're not threaded with God to see what I see, to explain what I explain. That's why my work is only coded for me. I can look at a piece of paper I created years ago. I can look at the download right now, and I can give the collective whatever the collective is vibrating now. I can thread that because the Source and I are similitude. When I'm similitude with Source, that means everything that I offer is going to be similitude with the collective, in a very multidimensional ways that I can be and I can do. We're going to talk about the celestials. If you have two people that are coming forward, because we want to talk about new systems, new system, we're on New Earth Star. The ground that we're sitting on right now is New Earth Star. Entertainment industry is changing. It's not entertainment industry anymore. It's creative arts and healing, or the arts and entertainment field. It's an expansive field. It's an infinite field of the omnipresent, of the omnipotent, and it's infinite. There's no end to creativity, because Source is all that is creative. That's all that Source is, inspiration. When you are inspired and aligned with Spirit, there's infinite creativity, because it is the alignment with Spirit. It's the alignment with your higher self. That's how you actually get ideas, is through the pineal. And through the pineal is your connection with the higher self. That is how inspiration really works. Your outer world also inspires you. I have multitude of choices. I can be that, I can be that, I can be that. That's why you have the dodecahedron of reflection, because you have choices. Oh, I could do it that way. That inspires me. I could do that. I'm meant to be an inspiration to all of you. You're not meant to copy me and mimic me, because that's just you trying to be me. No, you go be you. Take some of the ideologies, take some of the tips and skills and all of the information, and you go and do the work. And you come within your oneness with you and Source. Then you come within an authentic, genuine vibration. My vibration is very genuine to me. I have a very unique spin. I have a very unique taste. Not everybody's going to like it. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I got over that a long time ago. I'm okay that not everybody likes me. I'm here for those that really want to implore themselves into being new, into wake up new energy, to know that there's infinite aspects that you can harmonize yourselves within, and you can start activating yourselves in, and then start being this creative genius that you've always been, that you always will be, because you're Source creator. You're infinite in the image of. You are a brand of the heavens. What is your brand? What do you feel like? What is your taste like? What is your vibration at? As Jesus and the Master said, you will be known by your vibration. So what's your vibration? You cannot have a vibration like me. I can inspire you, and you can go in and do your own work with you and your guides, and you and your higher self, and you and God. Say, God, I would love to know who I am. I want to be as expansive as I can. This person that I saw on YouTube, that's very inspiring to me. Please assist me and assist me to go higher and wider. That's what you're doing as far as using the outer to inspire you. You never ever choose to copy them. You don't choose to take on their work and call it yours, because that's just mimicking and copying it again. That's the short game, and you're always going to be sat down by your ego. You're always going to be sat down by your higher self and your soul to say, what did my ego think was right? What did my ego think my beliefs were? What did my ego think my perspectives were? And you're going to have to do your whole soul reflection. You're going to hold yourself back, actually, by doing the short game. Because you're always going to have to be sat back down, because that's ego, and you're going to have to go through, why did I feel I was not enough? Why did I feel that I wasn't enough? Why did I feel that my gifts and skills were not enough? Why am I always on this competition thing? Because I have no sense of self and I think that I'm not enough. When you think you're not enough, you have competition energies. You always like you're having to be in competitive. Why? Because most likely you were brought up in an environment where you were always judged and compared against others. The Catholic Church is a big, huge one for that type of dogmatic doctrine trauma. How you pray, what you wear, how you talk, what you do, how you sit, how you act, how you say. I mean, you reverberate things in brainwashing type of experiences. And when you don't want to do that, it's seen as outsider. You get praised, you don't get praised. You get judged, you don't get judged. You get rewarded, you don't get rewarded. These are very harmful, distorted experiences of being a creative soul that's very unique and diverse. No, I don't want to do it your way. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to be purely God. That's why I trigger a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that are very okay with sitting in my little box. I only want to say it this way. Okay, you say it your way. I'm going to go and be me. I want to say it in a million different ways, because that's me. I'm a dodecahedron. I want to be me. You're not going to make me be you. You go be you. Be happy being you, but I'm going to be me. I want to say things in a million different ways because I want to touch as many different vibrations of experience that are in the collective. There's many of you that are going to have different DNA applications, different DNA instances where you're going to need different sounds, different harmonies, different tongues, different dialects, different clicks and ticks. And I'm here to activate that, as well as all of the other tonal healers. We're going to come and learn a lot about the psychologies and philosophies of sound through nature. What are the new philosophies that we're going to see in 2026? The passionate beings that really tune into nature, how nature heals, how nature has a song within itself, and the philosophies that we get from nature. One of the very first things that the philosophers ever talked about was nature, because it was the first reflection. Because that's how they learned who they were, was first off was through the reflection of nature and the stars. So we're going to be coming back to that, but we're going to be coming back to it with a harmonization of who we are as souls now. Not just from that one reflection. No, because I've done 3 different harmonizations of these 3 different soul fragments that are very important. That reflection of the integration of that arc terrain where I was on the Area 51 desk and they dissected me. That's a very important soul reflection that I integrated. I must reflect upon that. And every time I go back to reflect upon it in the Jacob's Ladder, I'm seeing it from a new perspective, because it's a new part of that dodecahedron. I'm far more advanced now than when that first integration happened 2 years ago. But I'm far more integrated now, and I can look at it with a much more rich experience. That's when the sandwich gets really put together. I want to take a bite of this big sandwich. I want to take a bite of who this is. I want to take a bite of who I am. That's why my vibration is very rich. I attract a lot of energy. I know that. That's why on the other side of it, I do have to take more care in my energy. I have to go have more downtime. I have to have more time with nature. I have to have more time with Source Creator and my guides that are trying to allow me to be the highest vibrational curator of stories of vibration, of stories of Source. And I have to be able to refine myself and prepare myself so that I can keep up with the light and prepare humanity and give humanity as much as I can, so that we can learn and really go within and be activated as deep as we can with the gifts and skills and talents that are all multidimensional. It's all in the unseen. They're not, you know, it's not quantifiable. It's all qualitative, because you can have a quality where you're waking up one morning, you're hearing things differently. You can't put a test on that. You can if you have all the you know, if you have this area of, you know, new earth, you know, technologies where you're testing everything you're going through in the process of ascension, and one day that might be the case. But then again, it's not going to be the same for every human, because every human comes with different DNA. Different DNA when it's activated, different DNA when their timelines, different DNA where their dreams, their skills, and their balances. All of these things are source aligned, source timed, and source activated. So it's impossible. Not everybody's going to have the same path of ascension. But what I've done is, in all of my books and in every one of my videos, is I bring you the very basics and the foundations, no matter where you're at, no matter who you are, no matter what your gifts and skills and talents are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how 3D oriented you are, no matter where you are and what you are. These gifts and skills, as I've taught in the Pleiades, are the very basic foundations for how you become the higher operative human. Meaning that you're going to be using from here on out all that you are as multidimensionality in the light wisdoms intelligences, which is all we've ever been. We've been numbed, dumb, and brainwashed out of it to think that we can just use our lower mind and walked around very bored most of the time, very distracted most of the time, because we can't find anything that allows us to feel source. I'm heavenly, I'm godly. God wants to come through and God wants to pronounce God's self through me. And this is why when I go through an activation, especially right now, I'm hopped up, I'm popping in, I'm popping out, let's go. There's so much energy that's coming through me. God is very excited to live through me in this experience. And so am I to love God, because God and I love each other equally. I'm very excited to have my godliness come forward. It's my brand, it's my unique brand, it's my unique vibration. And I'm here to teach each and every one of you. Let go of the short game. Let go of the short game. Nothing is the short game. Nothing is the short game. Ascension is the long game. It's taking every detour. It's looking at your dodecahedron every single day. Take 1 or 2 chakras a week and look at the chakras. Pay attention to the chakras. Tune into the chakras. Do your chakra work. And again, if you need any help with this, if you need any help with your ascension path work and becoming ultra human, a passionate co-creator and a brand of the heavens, if you ever need help with this, contact me for an appointment. Until January 15th, I have my sessions on sale for $150 US. For a 90-minute session. And we pack a lot in. We pack a lot in. So this is why it's needed to be recorded. Make notes and just enjoy the session. Afterwards, you're going to go through 2 days of energetic application. You're going to go through energetic changes and alterations. Your teams are going to be working with you 2 days before, 2 days after. And then, of course, you can then smooth it out by working on the tips and the gifts and the skills that I offer to you. What are the most important things to focus on? And then always aligning with your higher self and being guided by the higher self only. Your higher self is the only thing that initiates you. Only from here on out. This is why thus then we can let go and we can move beyond dark occult practices and abuses. You're supposed to practice them in ways of becoming a shaman in the higher temple work, where you're becoming an adept, or you're becoming a high priestess and high priest, or one of the highest shamans, like myself, or an empress that uses her gifts and skills and talents and knows about the dark occult, understands the dark occult, understands how to use the dark occult, but doesn't practice it on a daily basis to get what you want for self-glorification because you want a new pair of shoes, or because somebody hurt you and they ticked you off and now you want to go give them your revenge. So then you're living in a very, that's again, you're going to have karma and you're going to be moved, because that's not the energy, that's not the foundation of New Earth Star. New Earth Star has a vibration. Dear lighted ones, just so that everybody knows, this is the very basis of quantum science. We are electromagnetic beings. We are quantifiable beings of energy. We send off information and we receive information. It's all electromagnetic. That's why you are 100% responsible for your core vibration. And what does your vibration allow you to do? It allows you to create a reality. And what is a reality? A reality is your intention and your direction and your focus of your energy. What in your energy are you focusing on? You can't expect to be in a high vibrational reality when all you're doing is low vibrational things. But it's up to you every day to go back within and say, okay, if I'm godly, which I am, God's always with me, which God is, and I know all of these things and all of these beings are out here to teach me and allow me to my reflection of the heavens. So how can I then start refining my vibration? That's what I teach you. That's what we're going to be learning from here on out, New Earth Star. New Earth Star systems of wisdoms and intelligences is always about vibration. How can it not be? How could we have gone this far, this long, and not ever have our primary teachings not ever be about energy? It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to see how you've gone 5,000 to 100,000 years of life on Earth in various tribes and not go through, I mean, obviously the earlier tribes did. They knew a lot and they practiced it, but then it got entrained out of you for various reasons of dogmatic control and church domination over others, of power or systems. We can't control you, we can't log you, we can't predict you, we can't analyze you. Therefore, that's then we want to place you in a box, and there's systems and there's people and there's agendas that have done so. But now they're seeing that through the process of ascension, there's going to be everybody and their dog breaking out of the boxes. And we're not going to be able to be logged like that anymore. We're not going to be controlled any longer. We're going to be self-sovereign. We're going to be all vibrating at unique experiences. Your vibrational reality will be your basal vibration within you, who you are, what you operate as, and what's going on within you, and how well you take care of yourself, how well you love yourself, how well you're harmonized with light, how well you're harmonized with God, your oneness within, your sense of self within, to the outer reality. Is there a harmonization of energy at a base minimum oscillation? And if you can handle that base oscillation without feeling insane most of the time, then you can move through ascension by doing the daily ascension pathwork, the daily integration. There's going to be times where you're going to feel push back, and you're going to have to sit down and do a lot of healing because there's a trauma there that's not quite healed. It's very deep. So then you have to go and you have to pull that subconscious realm out and that subconscious energy. And yes, that can go in the teachings of psychology and psychiatry, but we're going to have to look at it again from the soul's perspective, not just from the individual sitting here. No, because that perspective is being pulled up from the soul that it is. It needs to integrate it. There's no psychiatrist and there's no psychologist on the planet that would have helped me with my Arcturian lifetime. They don't know me. They don't know my Arcturian lifetime. They would, because they're not vibrational teachers, healers, or leaders. They're not multidimensionally tapped in. They're not multidimensionally threaded and harmonized. They can be, and it's called a career vocational alignment. You can book that with a session with me, or you can start doing it with yourself and your higher selves and higher teams. Say, higher teams, I'd like to take this into a 5D experience. How can I do this? And then you start plotting it out. This is what we're advising all of you to do now. This is a few days before the end of 2026. Before 2026. Before 2026, what do you want your 2026 ultra-human, impassioned timeline to look like? We want you to be passionate about living life so that, let's get this very clear. And this is going to be a perspective and a belief that you can work on over the next couple of days that you will no longer need in New Earth Star. You're no longer going to need extra grinding and extra hustling. We want to get rid of these terms. They're not healthy terms. When people say, I've got a side hustle, I'm doing extra grinding today, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. Is that fun for you? Is that, I don't know. You want to be a grinder? I don't know. What does that mean? So these things are no longer going to be in the energy of New Earth Star systems. We're going to be learning about systems of being light, of bending and being malleable to whatever is in the moment. Relax. Whatever's there is meant to be there. Relax. Whatever's there is meant to be there. Relax. Let go. Whatever's in the moment, relax and let go. You're going to feel more impassioned like myself when I'm oscillating fast, when I just can't stop talking about source, can't stop talking about, this is where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be in front of the people, activating the people. The more people is in front of me, the more energy that they're going to be getting activated on, because I got a lot of energy to put out. So where's the people? Well, I'm not going to be suppressed anymore. My program's going to be opened up. My platform's going to be opened up, and I'm going to be in front of the people. Because if there's an asking from the people, there's going to be an answering. What is your answer? Who are you as the answer? What is your passion? So that's up to each human, because you've been cut off, numb and dumb for a while because of all the black magic fog and the brain fog and everything that's been going on with the MK Ultra, all of the things and the agendas that have been done to hold humanity back. You've given your power away. So now what is your tips and your skills and your talents to break open into is to reclaim all of your power, to reclaim all of your light, to reclaim all of your energy and your commandmentship, and be the new brand of you. Who is that? When I ask you this question in a session, most often than not, you all answer in the same ways. When you're a client of a long time with me, you don't answer in the ways you've ever answered in the first session. You now grow into this dodecahedron. If I ask a client that's been with me forever, who are you? Then they come forward with a story of what they've moved through, of their dodecahedron, of their processes, of their getting together, of their integrating, of their looking at the shadow. This is what they go through. This is who I am right now. I love this. This is who I am as source. I'm tapping in with the insectoids. I'm going here. I'm going there. I'm doing my ultra interdimensional travel. This is being tapped in and turned on. I teach the teachers. I teach the coaches. This is what we want you to get in the habit of. Because you can be this passionate being that you've always meant to be, but your human reality has allowed you to see very slow and very boxed in, and you're in the box stores because that's all they want you to see. But that's your choice. So again, this is why we've turned off the comments, because I can get so much more information and so much more energy. So again, any of those that would like to donate, because I'm giving you so much free energy, I'm giving you so many free codes, and to have a return of energy, to have a return of my energy gifting to you unconditionally that I give every day for the past 10 or 12, 15 years, it would be nice if I had a donation from some of the men in the collective. Considering that most of my listeners are 71% and over divine masculine, I haven't received one donation from a divine masculine. So divine masculines, it would be really great if you sent me in a donation. There are those in the collective that will be doing their sharing of wealth, and it's because of the higher spiritual realms. There has been the courts in the higher spiritual courts that have already closed. There's been demands to pay. everybody in the collective knows that the elites that have been taking my money, that have been harvesting off of me, you all have demands to pay. And they're in the physical, how it looks like is you're just inspired to help me. You're inspired to invest in my offering. You're inspired to donate. These are ways that you're returning back the money that you've harvested from me, the time that you've harvested from me, the energy you've harvested from me, the suffering that you've allowed to happen and to occur. This is the repayment of your karma. So if you're feeling these inspirations, it's your higher self saying there's been demands to pay in the spiritual realm. You have been found as guilty, and if you don't pay it up, it's going to roll in the physical, and you will be charged and you will be found guilty. The spiritual courts have already spoken. So if you don't take care of this in the spiritual way by heeding spirit and returning back the money to me, it's going to unfold in the physical and you will be found guilty. And you will be whatever charges will be laid in the physical, because I will be continuing to press charges. Just because we haven't seen it roll out in the physical, there's over 52 people that have been involved in the one discrimination case of me, of trying to take me, rape me, and steal me, and have me never stand up, have me never been seen, have me never been heard, because you all got money off of ensuring that I was going to be repressed and suppressed and oppressed. A lot of you got paid. A lot of you made a ton of money. A lot of you are in houses that I've paid for. I want my money back. I don't deserve to live on the streets. The longer it takes for you to get it back to me is going to be the more harshest karma that you will have coming to you. Because the money that you're sitting on is not really yours. It was made off my energy. It was made off my light. And it was made off even my content. Some people were pretending to actually be me. And I was, there's forms that Spirit's showing me, 4 different forms that Spirit is showing me in this investigation that will show up, and you cannot destroy evidence. Spirit will make it come forward. Spirit will reproduce that information if you think you've destroyed it. 4 pieces of information was shown that I was dead. I'm not dead. I'm right here. And this is why YouTube was paid, and the various employees of YouTube were paid to make it seem as if my platform was not there, and why they've messed with my upload dates to try and manifest cohesion with their false fabricated stories. Interpol investigations, FBI, CIA. Some of your shadow employees were involved in it, and you know it. So we're asking those that are not shadow employees to come forward and get your investigations under go. Let's go. Let's giddy up. These charges will be done by the end of 2026. This will not be a continuance into 2027. I guarantee you that. So get on it, investigators. Shadow governments, those of you that are putting together deals. You had 48 hours from 2 or 3 days ago. Because of the Christmas holidays, those were not actually business days. You have until closing of Monday to get your deals to me in writing. And then all deals are off the table. It's all off the table. There will be no more contracts. There will be no more mercy, no more windows open. You have until the close of Monday. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of being put on hold. I'm tired of doing all the alchemic work on all the planets, in all the dimensions, in all the universes. You cannot even put into source. Is there anything that you can say on the quantitative experience on what I've done alchemically for all of these experiences and all of these realities and all of these versions of Earth and all of these versions of systems of reality for humans? Nothing quantifiable. There's nothing quantifiable to ever put into numbers of what I've done. Of the darkness and pulling up the darkness, pulling up the cults and covens, pulling up the trafficking. Make no mistake about it, the black web will be pulled by the end of 2026. You will not be able to earn any money off the black web by the end of this year, 2026. That is my guarantee. That will not follow us into New Earth Star. That will not be a thing on the New Earth Star grids. That's my word. Substantial. Promise, dear lighted ones, vibration is everything. The black web cannot even stand 1 second of its root in my soils. Make that a promise and take that to the bank. Oh, black web curators. See you in court. See you in court. I will be the voice for many of those that have been taken out and sacrificed and thrown in the oceans. And where else have you thrown them? In your forest piles. Pretending that you didn't affect life. I see all of you. You're not going to get away with anything. I'm refined. I will be sitting with the highest judges on this planet. And I will be teaching the highest judges how to read and infer energy. How we have not done this so far in all of our systems of judiciary experience and education, dear lighted ones. How have you not? Everything is energy.
It should be the first thing you go to and the last. Because why? Because why? Because why? Because Anubis, dear lighted ones, one of the first things you taught in Egypt. There are scales, dear lighted one. If your heart is not as light as a feather, you cannot pass. You cannot pass these gates. This is a true thing. This is Source Creator. These are unchangeable rules. You cannot skate by. You cannot pretend and just say, ooh, maybe next time. No. That's a no. Why? Your consciousness relies on it. You cannot be moved to a level of consciousness you're not prepared for because you haven't earned it. You've been cheating your whole life. And that cheating will keep you in the same place because your consciousness is very real and it cannot be faked. You cannot fake what I am. You cannot fake it. You cannot mimic it and fake it. Reading energy cannot be faked. It is what it is in the moment. You open to God in the moment and God will pour through you. And through every being, it will be different. And it will be exactly attuned to your passionate, unique, divine, design, DNA, mother, father, creation. Through all of your creational realities, through all of your creational timelines, through all your creational bodies, through all your creational families and lineages that you belong to, which is all of them. Some you have more experience in certain species, like the insectoids or Arcturians, because you are very old, Orion. Many star systems are going to come to activate in the year 2026, dear lighted ones. That's another prediction. That will take you back to the very roots of who you are. What's your passion? And those of us that have been with the Christ consciousness, we are masters of teaching and education, masters of learning, masters of expansiveness of light. We want to press light out. We want to see how far God can go. Let's go, God. I've got the light. Let's go. We're creating things on this planet never been done before. Humanity, the first time, dear lighted ones. Isn't that exciting? Don't you want to be here? Don't you want to be a part of it? Don't you want to be a part of that light anchoring? Boy, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. I've taught people that I'm so proud of. They're in career vocations that they are designing. They are changing the face of who they are. They're changing the face of what they're offering to their communities. It's changing, dear lighted ones. Isn't that exciting? It's not going to be box store anymore. This is going to be a fabric of an imagination we had back then. We are dynamic ultra humans, dear lighted ones. Call it what it is. You've been asleep for so very long, and I'm saying wake up if you want. And if you don't, you will still move aside and step aside because I'm coming through. You cannot stop this wave. It's a silent wave. It's an invisible wave. And it's pure light. It's pure consciousness. You can't see consciousness, but you can feel it. You can't see consciousness, but you just know it. You can sense it. I just know what I know. I know God. I'm awake in God today. I feel like I'm God. I got the energy moving through me. I know what I know. 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 And God just lets you go. When I was in practicing professional sports, if you will, kind of professional, I suppose. We call ourselves professionals. Kind of silly. But each of us, we wanted these sponsorships and we wanted to get into places where they would pay us to play because some of us just love to play. And very competitive sports for women at the time, which wasn't really seen much, but it was still there. The players that got paid, they got paid and they were able to have a very nice living from their sports that they played if you weren't injured. And I always used to go early to the games and I'd stay late. I'd be the first one to show up. I'd be the first one in the practice. I'd be throwing an extra 200 pitches, 300 pitches a day. I'd be doing extra practices. I'd be doing extra, whatever it was I could be doing. As soon as I get home from school, my dad would meet me in the backyard and we'd put holes through everything because my pitches would just go everywhere. I had lots of junk and I would just be throwing. Just get out there and throw. That's all I wanted. Get out there and throw. I want to be the best that I could be. I'd show up early, I'd go home late, and I'd just do whatever I could to be the best that I could. That's focus, intention, direction of energy. That's manifesting. And some of us are just like that. We just have so much intentional focus. That's high functioning, autism. It kind of brings you those energies just because. You call it OCD, call it whatever you want. I'm not going to stay in that box. I'm bigger, I'm better. I'm more expansive. I'm going to manifest some stuff. Watch me. I'm just getting up, dear lighted ones. You thought you put me to sleep with 50,000 different sacrifices and rituals. I'm just getting up. Watch me. Watch me. I'm breaking every one of your systems that you say, that's not a pattern. No, I'm breaking all your patterns. Watch me. Every single pattern you've ever had since the beginning of time, I'm going to break it. Break it, break it, break it, break it, break it. Why? I'm godly. I'm showing you the crystalline light. I'm crystalline, dear lighted ones. Crystalline don't like patterns. We're going to break them. We want to be diverse. That's where the energy is. That's where intelligence is, dear lighted ones. Outside that pattern. Don't you want to be there? Don't you want to be it? Don't you want to feel it? Don't you want to sing it? Don't you want to sing outside the pattern? I can be anything. I can be anything. Song is me. Get me on stage, I will be godliness, godliness. Tishinamaka tkea, shinamaka, tishinamaka tkea, shimai tkea, tkea, mai tkea, shinanaka. And when I played sports, I would say, Coach, put me in. Coach, put me in. The team's in trouble. Put me in. And God knew that. God said humanity needs something. We're calling lulling out here. We're kind of lulling out. It doesn't matter what we do here. It doesn't matter what we do. The children aren't just hearing. They're getting turned off. They're going numb and dumb. What are we doing here? Put me in, Coach. Please put me in. Come on. I know I can do it. I know I got codes. Put me in, God. Please put me in, God. Open up my platforms. I got things to say. I got things to share. Let me share my voice. Let me share it. Holy light. Call on humanity, your ultra light. Never forget who you are, no matter how many times you fall. I am love, I will show you. I will show you you're loved. All dimensions, all timelines, all species, you are, you are. Stand up, dear lighted ones. God wants to put you in. Are you ready to play? Are you ready to whack that ball all over the field? Are you ready just to run silly and go catch that ball no matter what it takes? Are you ready to know that you got players on the field that are there just for you? They're going to back you up and you're going to back them up. Do you want to know that you have a pitcher that's so fucking good? A riser, slider, drop, changeup, fastball, inside corner, outside corner, high rise, high inside. God's putting me in, dear lighted ones, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Because when you're a closer, you come in at the time that it's needed, and God's only the one that knows that timing. So is your coach. Your coach is the only one that knows our team needs something. Our team needs that bit of juice. What are we going to do here, coach? And the coach says, put her in. The whole team knows, and all of a sudden the coach on the other side is watching what's going on here. Those ones that are controlling the planet, what's going on? Something going on here. They take off their baseball cap. What's going on? What's she got? Let's see what she got. We haven't seen this one before. What's she got? And they adjust their cup. Coach is watching on the other side. And I look over and I give him a bit of a grin and a bit of a smile and I wink. How you doing, coach? Watch this. I'm just getting up. I just got up today. I stretch out my arms. I've been throwing about 500, 600 pitches already. I'm okay. I'm good. Yep. Players all behind me, what are they doing? They're going, yeah, we got our best one, here we go. Sometimes you think you put your best pitcher in first. And some coaches do that just to throw you off. But your best pitchers are always your closers. Because no matter what situation you're in, God can call me and I'm coming in. You want me to go a different universe, a different timeline tomorrow, God? Wake me up and take me there, I'm there. I'll bring whatever light you want to. I can bring it slow, I can bring it fast, I can bring it change up, I can bring it up, high, low, whatever you want, I'm there. How do you want me to change it up today, God? I'm in. Put me in, coach, put me in. And I get my wind up and I make sure my catcher, she's ready. And the batter steps aside. The batter's got 3 or 4, 6 pitches just to look at it. That's what the batter's got. That's all the time the batter's got to time me. Do you think that batter can time me in 6 pitches? No, I'm not going to let that batter time me. I'm going to throw a different pitch every one. I'm not going to let that batter have that advantage. Why? Because I'm the pitcher. Me and the catcher run this game. The coach just allows us to play. Coach just says, go to it. You're in there. I said you want to go in, closer. You do your job. And everybody behind me, they trust me no matter what. Why? Because I'm the closer. They know my job and I know my job. And if they get anything hit to them, it's going to be straight up in the air where they know they can get it. And if it's on the ground, it's going to bounce maybe once or twice, nothing more than that. It ain't going to be crazy because I know these batters and I'm going to take them out one by one by one by one. And that's the dark side, and that's the ones that like to control and dominate you. I know exactly who you are. I know where you like your placements. I'm going to throw you an inside when you're not expecting it. I'm going to throw you a drop ball when you think I'm going to slide it right past your eyes. I'm going to pull you out of that bench. I'm going to pull you out of that dugout, and I'm going to have everybody see you. I know how to play my game, and I'm a strategist. You didn't think so. You thought I was numb and dumb. I'm just getting up, and God's just putting me in. So you keep wanting to play on the dark side. You keep wanting to play in these games of attack and sacrifice and scheming and plotting and planning on my life. Guess where you're going to be? You're going to be back in the dugout, and you're going to have a really bad batting average because I'm going to make it. See, that's my top game, is to give you your bad game. That's a strategist. You're going to have your chance on the field, and God's putting me in. I'm the closer. God knows how I throw. God knows how I practice. I come early, and I stay late. That's who I am. That's my thread. That's my blood. I've been like this since I was born, since God created me, back in the crystalline timelines. And now I'm in human form, and I'm an ultra-human. Now what? You tried to mess with me every way that you could. And some of you are so ashamed you took yourselves out. And that's your choice with God. But I'm saying I have every right to be who I am. And I'm going to be. I'll break every one of your patterns that you've ever studied. I'm going to give you new things to study. And we're going to call this new pattern the closer. Because these are things that come in at a timeline and at a time of evolution when God says, we can't do this any longer. The red flags are going up. We gotta get in there. Things that got to change. We got to put that crystalline light. We got to put Christ consciousness in. We got to get going with this spark of crystalline light. And there's going to be people that will bring these codes. And I'm one of them. And I'm birthing a whole generation of them. Because when you get activated in your godliness, ain't no way nobody's going to tell you to go home. Ain't going home early. I'm going to stay until the lights go out. Watch me. Watch me. I mean, I'm just going to stop pitching even when the sun goes down. Watch me. Been there, done that. Why do you think there's so many holes in any house that I lived in and all the fences were broken? Why? Because I'm going to stay late. That's my prerogative. That's being Christed, dear lighted ones, when it's just my joy. And I go in and my fingers are blistered and I'm tired as hell and I'm going to get up the next morning. I'm going to do it all over again because I know my game. We broke the patterns. We broke what said nothing could be broken. It's going to stay like this. And we're going to stay corrupt. And we're going to stay luring children into trafficking. We're going to stay like this. We're going to stay corrupt politicians. We're going to stay corrupt bankers. We're going to stay corrupt judges. We're going to stay corrupt this and corrupt that, corrupt this, corrupt that. Big Pharma, you're going down. You're next up. Big Pharma, next up. You better be practicing your swing. Big Pharma. You better start sharing your resources and your wealth. And you got cures for diseases out there, you better stop putting them out. This is your final call, Big Pharma. Prediction. Big Pharma will be on the grounds with me, and I will be on that mound. Big Pharma's going to face me. Yeah, they're going back to their seats. They're saying, does anybody want to go up to bat? And they're all going back to the dugout. Because I got my team. And who's my teams? By the infinite legions. And they're going to make paperwork appear even if you think you've destroyed it. Because you're working 3D, I'm working 13D. Now what? What's your excuse now? What's your excuse now, corrupt beings? What's your excuse? What's your excuse? Come on. You thought me dumb. You thought me stupid. What now? You thought me breakable. I'm going to dominate that girl. I'm going to punish her. I'm going to show her what it is. She's bad for business. Let's get her. Then what? Oh, wise one, then what? Not an ounce of light in you, then what? I'll wrap circles around you and your business times 12 by the time you wake up. Next. Batter up. And that ump is even going, let's do this. And you know who the ump is? Who's the ump, dear lighted ones? Who's the ump? Higher spiritual court. That's who the ump is. Guilty. You're next, Big Pharma. If you were smart, you'd be getting your books in order. Because you're being audited by the spiritual courts. Spiritual courts. And that's a rap song coming up. What rapper wants to put that one on the market? That one's going to be a top seller. On the books. Big Pharma, face lightworkers. Big Pharma, face crystalline children. Big Pharma, Big Pharma, Big Pharma. How many children died? Big Pharma, Big Pharma. Got it here, Big Pharma, Big Pharma. How many children die every year? Big Pharma, Big Pharma. How many drugs numb and dumb children out of their gifts and skills and talents? Big Pharma, batter up, Big Pharma. I'm taking you down, Big Pharma. Get your books in order. Get your books in order. Everything run through the courts is going to go back to the collective. Just like YouTube. You're next, YouTube. You know your people are getting paid to silence certain platforms and moving dates of upload dates and download dates and pilfering. You see it all over the place. It's so blatant, it's sick. And you're having breakfast, watching all of these accounts getting pilfered and raped and dates uploaded and dates being skewed. There's people in and out of everybody's platform. It's a joke. There ain't nothing secure about YouTube. It's like the black web or something. We're hot today. Put your cleats on, dear lighted ones. We got new ground. We're going to go for a run. And we're on New Earth Star now. And then we're a team of one. We're a team. And we're going to get out there and we're going to play. And we're going to do our best. And we're going to know that everybody behind us on the field and everybody in front of us on the field, they're our team. And whenever the ball comes to them, they're going to speak in truth and they're going to get up and say, hey, I'm here. This is my position and I'm here. I love this position. I love the piece of puzzle I play. And I'm going to be this piece of puzzle because I know God's got a place for me. And it doesn't matter whether you're the pitcher or the catcher or the third base or the outfield. You got a place to play in this field. You got a place to be on this team. And I'm going to lift every one of you. And every one of you are going to have a voice. Now, who's on my team? Who wants to come into new ground, dear lighted ones? And we will celebrate every day and we will celebrate every game because every game you win. And every game you're going to learn something. You're going to learn when to put your glove down and when to put your glove up. You're going to know when to protect yourself and you're going to know when to sit down. You're going to know when to talk and when not to talk. You're going to know when to call forward what you need to call forward. Call forward those biggest abusers. I'm going to take them on. Let me take them on. And who delivers it? Who delivers it? Who delivers it? Source. Source delivers it. And I will be on that mound. I will never sit down. Every voice will be heard. Every divine feminine will be risen from the jobs that she does every day times 12, just to make her house work and run. She's never been given credit, never been given her aptitude for what she does in one day, for a family of 5. Divine feminine, stand up and be proud. Are we teaching our children to speak their voice and talk about their dreams and talk about their energy and to talk about their gifts and skills and talents? We are. We're gonna right now. It's our new start. That's the new game plan. We are nothing but energy. How could it not be? Every way that they teach, every way that we are, every way that we eat, every way that we dream, everything that we are is source. It is energy. Returning back to godliness. Let's bring it back to godliness. That's New Earth Star, dear lighted ones. It's in the soils. It's in the water now. We are intending clean water. We are intending clean soils. We are going to pay attention to the farmers and what they're doing on the farms. What they're using on the farms. And we're going to have a better relationship with the farmers. Why? Because isn't there anything better than having a gentle gardener that cares about what food they give you and what's in the food? That we don't need to kill animals for their meat because we're so high vibrational, all we need is water-rich foods. So is the water rich going into that food? Is the food rich? What does rich mean to you? What does abundance mean to you? What are you putting inside of you? What are you paying attention to? We're going to have a better relationship with our food and our farmers. We're going to have a better relationship with our medical systems. We're going to have a better relationship with the leaders because you are each leaders. You're the next leaders of tomorrow. So are the children and the children's children. How are we being role models, dear lighted ones? When will the coach put you in? When you've had enough time doing the dodecahedron and you're absolutely sure that no matter what, there's nobody that's going to move you from the square that is purely you, because that's all that matters. You're here to speak on you and you only. The odd time God will give those that have had enough practice and experience in other realms and other ways and other dimensions where you're going to be the voice and advocate for others. Because at this point in the game, nobody's got a voice. So there will be advocates and ambassadors needed for the voiceless, for the ones that have already left the planet, for the ones that are getting harmed and hurt, like the animals and the children every day. We will walk lighter on this planet, dear lighted ones. This is our game now. Reclaim your power. Every player, reclaim your power. You're a player in this game, and God wants to see you play your position well. And that's for you and God to determine. Only you and God. God initiates you. And God says, okay, when you are initiated, God says, okay, there you're up. You've gone through all your initiations. You've gone all through the practices. You show up early. You go home late. There's nothing inside you but a pure prayer. You walk and talk 24/7. You walk and talk 24/7 godliness. And you move those insects when you got to move them. Just because it's you. You're not trying to show anything. No, it's just me, God. Put me in, God. You watch me every day. You watch me every hour on the hour. There's nobody that puts out greater light than me. Put me in, God. God, put me in. If I can shift momentum and the universe converges around me and there's no more sick children and there's no more children being trafficked, my God, I'm going to go home the happiest being in creation. And watch the song that ripples behind me and waves behind me. It's like a pulsar, a zephyr moving through light. Can light be light? Can light be more light? Can light be more light? Of course it can. Watch me. On the lightest day, you're going to see a zephyr. You don't have it to be nighttime. Watch me. That's how much light I will create. You're going to see my light burst in the middle of a lighted day. You don't need to have it dark outside. Watch me. Put me in, God. You're the one that we need. You're the one that has the right thing to say when the people need to hear it. You're the one that we need to lift those people in the darkest from places and say, it's time to come home. Are you ready to come home? But you got to put in some work because you got to remember who you are. And you're going to do the work because you love who you are. You're going to want to be that dodecahedron. You're going to want to be every bridge that you've crossed. And ain't nobody going to count you off that bridge. You know why some people don't cross that bridge, dear lighted ones? Because there's something inside of them that know that if anybody challenges them on that bridge, they know that they're going to go back. Because you don't know yourself well enough, and that's okay. So keep going across that bridge as many times as it takes. You know how many detours God put me on? God kept taking me down to the dark side. God kept taking me back, kept taking me back, kept taking me back. I knew that there was nobody else that could do what I do. I knew that. But I said, God, you got to give me a break. It's okay. You got to give me a break. I can't do this anymore. This is my last time. I can't do this. Because there is a point in the soul where the soul just says, that's it. I'm done. I cannot face any more egregious acts from these people that should know better and that can do better but don't do better. They're the ones with the money. Why aren't they doing anything? Why am I sitting on the street? Why ain't nobody giving me a donation? Why? Why is that? They don't want to part with it. Is there disease? Is there addiction? Money? It thinks it makes them something, but it isn't. They're just a bunch of empty holes. I thought that made me important because that's what you all thought was important, was money and power and position, prestige, superficiality. Okay, so once you take that layer off, then what? What's underneath? Who are you? What do you stand for? Where are you going to go in and play? What's your position? Well, I'm a Republican. That's my position. I'm a Republican. What's your position, dear lighted ones? Who are you? What kind of change up you got? What's your best pitch? Do you come early? Do you go home late every day? And we say that as you. You're the game. It's a game of you and God. You and God in creation. God can take you anywhere. God, whatever game you got, whatever field you got, whatever location you got, you put me in there. I'll go anywhere for you, God. You put me anywhere in the universe. I'm going to have to get used to the energies. Give me a day or two to get used to the energies. Put me in. Doesn't matter where the field is. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what that mound is like. I'll go and play. Put me and God. It's me and God. I know me and God. Me and God write my script. Me and God write my destiny. Me and God practice the pitches. Me and God say, maybe this one we go this way. Maybe that way we go that way. Maybe we'll go through the back door on this way. Maybe we do this. It's me and God, people. And the spiritual courts is my umpire. The spiritual court says, let's just move it a bit. Let's go back. And, spiritual courts, that's my jurisdiction. That's why Anubis walks with me. These are not superfluous things. These are real, tangible things. This is the tangible universe, dear lighted ones, coming into fruition, manifesting. Now that you're going to be an ultra human, don't you want to know that? Don't you want to know the real way to manifest through creation? Don't you want to be the real aspect of God? You can pretend and have it separate from you and go in a box church and state terminologies, doctrines. And then what? We're going to show you the full circle, dear lighted ones. You want to be every player on the field. So when the coach needs you, the coach can put you in. If the coach is shorthanded, the coach can put you in. How many different ways can you bat? Can you bat left? Can you bat right? Can you bunt left? Can you bunt right? This is being an ultra human, dear lighted ones. I can. Yes, I can. Watch me. Are you prepared, dear lighted ones, to be the very best version of you? Do I have a number, Spirit? 97.8 is at a no. Because you haven't been taught or entrained or shown that you are the most important person and aspect and game and place and experience and gift and thing and relationship. Whatever it is that you think is outer that defines you as who are you, it isn't. It's you. It's always you. You are the multiverse in action, unfolding, becoming, unfurling, igniting, birthing, rebirthing, dying, rebirthing again, churning, becoming, alchemizing, transforming, transcending, ascending. Are you getting the picture, dear lighted ones? This is a new year. Let's make it our best, team. And we're going to have the best year ever. We're going to rely on each other. You've got the gifts and skills in that area. I'm going to look to you and I'm going to put you in when it's needed. Are you ready? Do you got your game plan? You adjust your hat. Let's go, coach. Let's go. Crack your knuckles and you put in your best because that's all God wants. I did better than I did yesterday. I love myself more and I'm giving myself more patience and compassion. I'm looking after my body, I'm looking after my mind and my spirit, and I'm not going back to anything that's toxic and karmic. Because I deserve better. I'm going to get better, I'm going to do better. And that's just by being me. I want to be the best version of me. I'm going to express. I'm going to express, I'm going to express, I'm going to express. Every day I will express. That's my new rule. Because it makes my life flow through me so much better. And I'm just a dodecahedron. Everything is open and flowing. Everything is open and allowing. Everything is open, 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 open. And then when there's those in front of me that don't deserve it, then I close it down. No, you don't get any part of me today. You didn't earn it. Because I got boundaries and that's okay too. And this is why you want the long game, because when it's time for you to get up on that mound, you're going to be the very best of your very best. And that's all that matters is your very best. You're not competing against any other. It's you and God and you in the spiritual courts. That's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of your lifetime, those scales with Anubis will always be there. And you're the only one that is accountable for it. And who are you? I'm somebody that moves the wormies. And if that's all I'm known for, then so be it. That's my most glorious story. I'm okay with that. I don't need your trophies. I don't need your accolades. Because your billion-dollar homes not tell me who I am. I'm going to get up and I'm going to be exactly who I am as the ultra-human, as the multiversal expresser, as the definer, as the healer, as the toner, as all that I am. And any being that I can be, God will have me help you activate who you are, who you are. I activate your soul's codes, dear lighted ones. I activate the dodecahedron. Now, isn't that a gift? That's beyond your patterns, You don't have a school for that until now. We're going places we've never been before. Do you trust me? Do you trust in God? Do you trust in you? You might say not yet, but that's okay. Just take that first step. Every morning, sit down with Source Creator. Every morning, sit down with God. I want to be the highest version of me, God. Can you show me the way? I don't intend light. I want to call in light. I want to be light. And God will show you the way. Take a deep breath, dear lighted ones. Lots of codes today. Lots of analogies today. Take a deep breath. The children are saying they love that analogy about the ball game and the baseball teams. Isn't that fun, children? You can see things from an infinite number of perspectives and why you have games on the planet. Never compete against anyone else, dear lighted ones. It's just about you performing your very best. Perform your best, dear lighted ones. Perform your best coloring. Color outside the lines. That's okay. That means you're an eclectic being. You don't want to play within the borders of something else or someone else. No, you want to make new. You know what's needed on this planet, dear lighted ones? And there is a huge market for it. And for those that are pure of heart only, the only ones that are pure of heart, only the ones that are pure of heart, I'm going to give you an apple that's fallen from the tree. The only one, and this will be part of the creative arts and entertainment field. Only those are pure of heart, not those that want to cheat their way and make their way quickly and cheat their way, because there's people that will hear this now and in the future. There's going to be songs that will be needed, pure of heart, because that's what God's going to activate you in. Then we're going to need a whole bunch of new nursery rhymes that aren't toxic and damaging, about bridges falling down and people coming up with diseases and things like that. We're going to need a whole new array of nursery rhymes and songs and stories for children from the stars. Who's up for it? Pure of heart. You've already had that inclination. You've already known that's what you are as a storyteller for children, as a songwriter, and you can sing a song on anything. God can put me on any stage, and in any moment, I'll make up a song about anything. Tomatoes and potatoes, and why children have loved me from the beginning of time. I can sing about anything in nursery rhymes. I can make it a song. Come with me. Come with me. Isn't that Peter the Pied Piper? And all the children and mice follow Peter. Not Peter anymore. We need new nursery rhymes and new songs that are coded of love and light, and bringing back high vibrational tones and sounds and songs of hope and promise and stars and unity and universality, and knowing that their DNA is all that they are and their destiny is to explore and express all that is. That's an apple from the tree for somebody that deserves it. And God will make sure it gets into the right hands. And you know why? Why? Because it's one of the it's one of the words in our title today, dear lighted ones. If you take anything from today, and we're going to close up. Anybody would like to make a donation, book a session with me, please do. If you'd like a collaboration of businesses, of places of business, of government or otherwise, please book it early. My calendar will book up very quickly. Come by the end of January. So if you want a session with me, if you want to spend time with me collaborating, please do it soon, because it will book up and God's going to just let me go. I'm a top and I'm ready to go. You know the little spinning tops? I'm ready to go. Watch me. We're breaking all known vibrations and known statistics. Make no mistake about that. There ain't no pattern that I will not break. And just by being me and getting me on stage. And it doesn't mean I'm here to perform. No, I'm here to get those codes out into the collective and ground them. That's my job. I'm a code breaker. That's what I do. Take namakara tike she namakara tikela namakara tike na ese namakara tikela namakara tike she namakara tikela nai tike naka. Donations, please. PayPal.me Joanna L Ross, please. And I do have the address of my bank on my YouTube page to send me birth records and paper documents and hard copies. Thank you. Only the most benevolent things will move through it. If it's malevolent in any way, I will not open the envelope. I will not touch it. And my teams will make sure it's disintegrated in mid-space. Because my teams are like that. I will not be touched in any malevolent way. Watch it. If you want to send me something benevolent, you can send it to that address. until I get into an address of my own, and I'm waiting for the monies that are owed to me from about 30 years now. It's owed to me. And every day that prolongs is every day that God will press God's thumb on your necks. Therefore, thus then, I am receiving. I am Celeste, also known as Joanna. Everything needs to be made out as Joanna because all my bank accounts are still in Joanna until I get my birth records, until I get all that sorted out. Again, you can tell where I'm at. Thank you, delighted ones. Oh boy, I love those energies today. Oh, thank you, God. Everybody tell the energies are up on that. Oh, thank you, God. Love the energies. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That's light, baby. That's light. So, they want me just to go back. I didn't quite finish my statement because I was just all up in my energy. I'm all up in my own energy. We're going to need, and so anybody that wants to come to me for ideas, inspirations, you want your employees, you want your staff to be full on energy, right? You want your employees and your staff to be up on energy and get them excited again and get them creating again. It's all about light and alignment. So I can also help with those sessions and appointments. So from here on out, dear lighted ones, focus on passion. The passion of who you are, the passion of what your expression is, the passion of how you want to create in the world. And God's going to lead you. God's going to lead you. You're always driven back to your passion. Passion, passion, passion. I'm so excited for all of you. And so we have time for one message. If anybody wants to send me a telepathic message. Am I going to where? If somebody is asking me where? Yes, I'm going to be traveling all over North America and then a couple of places in Europe. Absolutely. We're going to focus on North America for most of the year, and then we have a few spots in the UK that I'd like to get to. You can see me in person, absolutely. There will be obviously security there. The average time that you can spend with me, usually the events will be about 2 hours long. Yeah, and there'll be time to meet and greet with me afterwards, as well as signing books. Any presentation that you'd like me to do, whether it's a lecture at a university, lectures within the jail systems, the investigative systems, Interpol, CIA, FBI, it all needs to be refurbished. It all needs to be upgraded. Every system right now on the planet is being cleaned out from its corruptions. So all the corruptive experiences are being cleaned out. Yeah, so it needs to be redone and reworked within the sacred Trinity. Right? And that way everybody's coming together in a more purified, rarefied harmony. Everybody's going to be very clear about who they are, very conscious about who they are. All the monies are going back to the peoples for these new systems and for the healing. It's all about healing humanity so that we become the most passionate experiencers, the passionate expressors, and the most vibrant, colorful planet within our solar system. I guarantee you that. Doesn't that feel good? Stretch out your energy. Stretch and exhale. Now, because we've got lots of energies coming in, make sure you spend time with nature, drink lots of water, go slow, take salt baths, intend God to come in and be with you and heal. If you need a healing session, please call me. Any other questions, dear lighted ones? Yes. We're going to be coming up with various symbologies of light. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So yes, that will go into hieroglyphics and things like that. We're going to be coming, that's a whole other topic. So we're very excited about that. Yes, that will be somebody's passion. That will be somebody's passion, yes. Bring together new liturgies and new documentations of light, petroglyphs and hieroglyphs. Yes, symbologies of light, absolutely. It's huge, 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 huge. Because even one piece of light glyph, like the artwork that I do, I've shown you on my YouTube page, one glyph is a whole story downloaded point of the diction, like of the casing of the library. If you have a whole series of books on cosmology, that one glyph is that cosmology section. Glyphs are very highly active. They're activating tools. One glyph can be the entire history of humanity. One glyph. So we're going to be learning about these things that are very expansive, and they activate. My codes activate. Even though it might seem as one glyph, that one glyph encapsulates a whole section of a library. That's what the Akash, that's what light language is. That's what the wisdoms of light is. It's bendable, it's fluent of all aspects of knowledge and wisdom. And it's whatever is intended in the glyph. And it's done multidimensionally. It's done with your Christ consciousness. It's done with the Christ crystalline energy. The more crystalline you have, the more crystalline dodecahedron you can be. I can whip with my crystalline energy. Right? The crystalline gives us that magnetic experience to be here and be there at the same time. To download quite quantum magnitudes of information in just one thing. That's where we're going, dear lighted ones. So all of our learnings and all of our education systems must change. Universities will be driven in this way. How to create, condensed information with, crystals and things like that, and use them benevolently, right? And that's why you always have to have a good protocol. That's why people call on me. You need a new protocol now. You want to work within the heavenly realms of higher standards and higher spiritual order, because you want to be always in the highest level of karmic good karma, right? Use of free will and non-interference and the law of balance. Right now, we're all focusing on the law of balance, and it will show us in every way how free will was not used. It was abused. So all of these laws go back to the same thing. It goes back to the law of one. We are all one, dear lighted ones. We're all human. Right? You're not in different political genres. No, you're in one political genre. You're a team of one. Start acting like it and behave and see what you can get done. Politicians, when they behave in a level of one, they will get much more done than they have been getting done. So if you're getting paid all this money to be a great politician, then be a great politician. Be in the team of one. So who's going to head that up? Which being is ready for that? Which being is ready to take this on and break up the systems and break up the patterns? I know you can do it. You call me whenever you need me, dear lighted ones. I'm here. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Close down this circle of light, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Please cut and sever any and all cords. Please bathe and cleanse me with the Holy Christ. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Mother, Father. Thank you, systems of light. Thank you, systems of light. Thank you, insectoids. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Metatron. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for always protecting me. Thank you to the legions of light. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Mother and the Father. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Mother, Father. I love you. Oh, they said there's going to be some experiences the next little while. There's going to be experiences in the next little while with our interdimensional teams and celestials. Yes, so they're saying cosmic. You'll have cosmic experiences. Okay, some of you are going to have experiences with food. To tap you into and get you more connected with higher vibrational eating. So maybe some of you might be dietitians in higher vibrational ways for the crystalline bodies. That's going to be, everything. We're all starting up brand new. It's so exciting, right? There's no limits. Is there any messages? Sorry, I should have had more time for channeling. So maybe tomorrow we'll do that. We'll have more time for channeling. Please donate. Anybody that would like to donate to offer back some of the energy that I've given out today. And if you want to book a session, please do. A holographic reality. Okay. And systems of light will be coming to each and every one of you to help you with understanding more your holographic reality. So again, that's more of a psychosis. So how to understand what really multidimensionality is, so that you're not going to be going into psychosis break, right? Because 5D is not 3D, right? When you have a 5D experience, like I said, some of the visions that I get, I explain it to you the best way I can, but even then I still can't even explain it because it's just so wild and out there, right? So you want to be able to ease your way into these multidimensional experiences. So the systems of light are going to help you with that. So thank you. So we'll let you go, everybody. We love you. Okay, bye.